Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Browns and the Packers, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Cleveland Browns taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone and tackled at the 21. So a net negative there of 4 yards. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They'll take that 14 yards on play number 1. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage.
And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 64 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A chance for the first points of this Super Bowl. It's 1st and goal. And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Packers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Faking the give. Now Watson. Right back to Njoku. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Well, Charles, look, and this is probably a harbinger of things to come. He's got such trust in his tight end, and they're on back-to-back plays. We're seeing that on display.
And when they have that kind of trust, they're not as worried about what the coverage is because they feel like they know each other so well. They'll make the subtle move downfield, and the ball will end up in the right spot. And by the way, partner, what's harbinger mean? Help me out.
Well, you're the one that taught me that a few years ago, so I'll have to lean on you for that. I'm just hoping it fit into the sentence correctly.
I must have got it from my word of the day calendar on my desk.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
First carry for Nick Chubb, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Watson on first down. He'll find Schwartz, complete right side. Touchdown, Browns! Anthony Schwartz, 28 yards. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. With the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
First down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Big Kenny Clark that time, pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
To throw is Watson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You called that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. 1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 14-7 is the score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll run with Chubb, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Great stop by Devontae Wyatt, breaking through the line and stopping it cold.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
On 2nd and goal, Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your two-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have one or two for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go touchdown.
Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Browns continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your play.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the interception, here's Watson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Browns are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete.
Trying to connect with Bo Melton.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Rodgers again now. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away.
Here comes Grant on the return.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 50, it's Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
From the 27, Watson dancing to his left.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
He's had a very nice day throwing the football, and I think on this play, he's just trying to buy some time so he can make another big throw downfield. Unfortunately, couldn't connect on that one.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Watson.
That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Two minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Watson looks to throw again. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And now off to the races, down the right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
But we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Packers will take over here just shy of the 30. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson.
Nigga, I don't fold. No, you know who you watching. Act like you know.
And it'll be 2nd down. Here's Watson.
I don't fold, nigga. You know who you watching. And I get the ball at half.
David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown in the Super Bowl. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And a good return is going to be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining.
Bro, abilities don't mean shit when you a trash-ass user. Literally. All you do is run man. A nigga is not about to beat me running man the whole game. I don't care who your corners is.
Final shot before half for Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones.
And then on offense, see some shit. All you do is try to go deep.
So it's halftime here on Sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Literally got a counter to everything he do.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
It's so crazy. I never even watched dude play, bro. Literally after the first drive, he got that deep ass pass and scored. I already knew he was about to try to be on the rest of the game. You see, he haven't scored offense since.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. The Browns drive about to get started. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Watson now to throw. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll go left side on the ground to Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson, he's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. His throw incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And now Watson throws another interception.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Again, it's Jones. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Jones will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Rodgers now on third and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. To throw on second is Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Chubb will get the call running left. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to air one out. Touchdown! Anthony Schwartz with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Browns are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Extra point by York is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
Now Rodgers.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Rodgers to throw once more.
This pass complete to Martin.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 42. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. On first down, Rodgers.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Packers.
Christian Watson.
42 yards.
And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the...
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the fourth quarter. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Watson on first down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, 14 yards. And the Browns are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Being chased out left. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson, this will be caught at about the 6. Yeah, the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Watson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Browns add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. On first down, it's Watson. And that's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Trayvon Mullen.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Martin Emerson.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, it hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
To throw is Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
And, Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it third and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Again, it's Watson. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Here we go on fourth. Watson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on fourth and goal. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
York now for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. One last shot at the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
One final try now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And how about this? The dog pound gets the crown. The Cleveland Browns are the Super Bowl champs. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.